All right. I think I'm back. Sorry about that. I'm getting messages that I'm breaking up and the video's freezing, and so I don't know why. I have pretty robust internet. Back. All right. Hello. Um, Shoot, there were so many good questions there. Um, okay. Well, welcome back. Thank you. I'm back. Um, all right, here we go. Thoughts on Dave Grohl? Love him. I've met him a couple of times. Uh, Took my daughters over to see him in Oakland once, and went back and met him, and then
Best moment of my life.
we all went to a show and went to Foo Fighter show in Osaka, Japan, one year, and went out to dinner with the band afterwards. That was fun. Really, really humble guy, down home. I love his music. I just love him. I love all the guys in the band. Great guy. Uh, Hi Penny, how you doing? Penny used to cut our hair
Aww.
in New Jersey. Whenever we play Atlantic City, Penny would come and cut the band's hair. So
Aww.
hi Penny, miss you. Um, she says you're beautiful, Liv.
Aww. That's sweet.
Why the drums? Um, I started out. I wanted to be a saxophone player, so they gave me in my fourth grade elementary school band. They gave me a I went to the band director. I said, I want to play sax. He says, okay, right. Here, take this. You're going to learn how to play this first. And they handed me a clarinet, which has the same embouchure. And and I said, well, that's not a saxophone. But I played clarinet for a while. And my dad, who was a frustrated jazz drummer, he gave me my first pair of drumsticks, and he was the one who got me interested in playing drums. And he'd take me to a lot of cool shows and see Buddy Rich and a lot of big band stuff, and he's the one who really got me into the drums.
Whose idea was it to sing a cappella?
We started out doing that at after gig parties in our hotel room, and we just get everybody together and just start singing old R&B tunes because we all loved them, and we could all sing, so we just get together and start singing songs, and that's how that came about. We decided to put it in the set. On drum solos, do you write what you do? No, never. Also, is it ever tough since you don't get a break? I do get a break when we sing a cappella. That's what's so beautiful about the a cappella portion of our show is I get a break to come down off the drums and breathe. Wouldn't mind seeing Dave Grohl in the news. Well, you can see You can see Huey Lewis and the Foos if you would like. That's on YouTube. The Huey sat in with him at that Osaka gig I was talking about.
Oh.
Who's the best golfer in the band? It's a toss-up, frankly, between John Pierce, Huey, and myself. On any given day, the other guy can beat him. So Huey and I have beat each other's brains out for the same $6 for the last 40 years. uh, Favorite song of mine. I don't have a favorite. Really don't. And the greatest compliment I ever received. Um, Boy, that's tough. I've received a few. Um, I can't think of I can't think of one.
Oh my gosh,
Jimmy Rooney. Hi, Jim. Jimmy.
Hi.
Um, when did, JT says, when did I first realize that I was successful enough to do this for the rest of the career? When I had to open a few different bank accounts and buy a house. That's when I realized that. My business manager called me one day and she said, "Bill, you need to go buy a house." I said, "What?" "Yeah, you guys are making a lot of money. You need to go buy a house." Okay, so I went and bought a house. And that's when I realized that, oh, okay, might be able to do this for a living. My daughter's name is Liv Gibson, Livgibson. You can check her out on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, um, like
Apple
that.
Music.
Apple Music. Bahrain. Wow, Laurent's from Bahrain. Or he's in Bahrain. Matt might be stuck in Bahrain right now. Hi, Amy. Say hi to Jerry.
What was the best part of doing Good Luck Charlie? What's that?
I don't know what Good Luck Charlie is. Never heard of Good Luck Charlie. Any thoughts on Neil Peart from Rush? Neil was an incredible writer. I don't know if you knew that. Great drummer, good, wonderful. Rush was not my style of music. I appreciated what Neil did, and he was perfect for Rush, but it just wasn't my style of music. So I never really delved into it that much. But he did buy a couple of the snare drums that I was building with solid percussion back in the 80s. And he wrote a letter to us once that actually a friend of mine just sent me a copy of. I wish I had it out here with me. But he wrote a very eloquent letter to us talking about how great he thought the drums were. But yeah, it was a shame to see him go. He was too young. Too young.
Did you ever find out the name of that medicine that cured your sickness while in Japan?
No, but boy, it was a Chinese herb. It was a Chinese herb, and it was a liquid in liquid form, and I just drank a whole bottle of it. It was a tiny bottle, about that big. And he said, my Japanese tour manager over there, Tommy Shikatomi, said, "Here," gave it to me, "drink this." Whoosh, drank it, and within about 2 hours, I was better. And I had been violently ill for the entire day, the entire show. I missed a song because couldn't possibly perform it. That was the worst gig I ever did. Been my favorite HLN support act over the years. Well, there's two of them, Stevie Ray Vaughan and the Neville Brothers. And we've had others that have been phenomenal. Bonnie Hayes, love. Um, um, I don't know that I could say I even have a favorite one, but Dwayne Eddy. But I'd have to say Bonnie, the Neville Brothers, and Stevie Ray Vaughan, my favorites. Do I have a favorite venue to play? No. Hi, Rick. How you doing? No, I really don't. I really don't. There's some very. One of my favorites is yeah. Thanks, Michelle. You can close that. There's a little theater in Eugene, Oregon. I think it's called the Holt Center. The sound, I remember the sound of there being amazing. Ruth Eckerd Hall in Clearwater, Florida is an amazing sounding room. So any room that sounds good. And there aren't that many of them for rock music, really. The theaters are the best. You guys won a Grammy. Do you each get one or do you share one? No, we each got one. I have one. It's on my mantle, on my bookshelf in my living room. Howdy, Jersey Shore. What up?
Oops. What have I done?
No, no. Yeah, and Bonnie and Stevie did open up for us at uh, Laguna Seca. That was fun.
Who is this? Doesn't look like Huey.
Who is this? Doesn't look like Huey. Wasn't supposed to be Huey, babe. Hey, Bill, what gig in the early, that's Carlos Chazoo. What gig in the early 80s did you guys know the band was going to be a hit? What gig? Well, you know, right? It was probably that um, might have been Rockpalast in Germany. That was a big one. Or that 38 Special Tour. That might have been when we knew that, when we saw what was to come. You guys all got Grammys for the Back to the Future soundtrack. No, we did not. We didn't get a Grammy for the Back to the Future soundtrack. And if we did, I didn't get one. Do you always give drumsticks out at shows? Yeah. Sometimes at the end. Yep. For sure. I like to give them to kids. Musically speaking, what is left? No, that one went by. What did that say? Hi, Dina. Rockpalast, yeah.
Whoa.
I missed that one from.
Can you juggle?
Can I juggle? No, I cannot juggle.
What's your favorite Steph Burns solo?
Favorite Steph Burns solo? Jacob's Ladder. Steph is the best on Jacob's Ladder that ever was. Well, that was another song, another question that Chris Cohen sent me. Was I surprised that Rush and the News have a song called Jacob's Ladder? And I didn't know that Rush had a song called Jacob's Ladder, but it does not surprise me. I wrote Hurry Back. Want to share a story about that song? Yep, Huey had lyrics. He wanted to do a song called Hurry Back Baby, and he said, somebody write music to it. So I wrote the music. And it was just, the idea was to have it be a blues shuffle. So that's what I did. Pretty simple.
Can you cook? Favorite dish to cook?
Yeah, I can cook. The last 2 months have been pretty spectacular.
What's your favorite to cook?
My favorite to cook? A good bolognese or huevos rancheros with my special sauce. I do a mean grill. Can grill up some good Cajun shrimp for you.
What song took the longest to get right in the studio?
What song took the longest to get right? Might have been Hard to Rock and Roll. I know we recorded that many times. Well, or Killing Me. No, Her Love Is Killing Me is the song that took 20 years to get right in the studio. Seriously, we recorded that 3 or 4 times. We demoed it twice. We recorded it in different studios 3 or 4 times. And that was definitely the hardest one to get right. Mm-hmm. But we finally did. Ever discuss coking with Sammy Hagar? Cooking, I know what he meant. No, never discussed it with Sammy. Is it true that Huey Lewis told you guys when you hit it really big? That one went by.
And you hit it really big to enjoy the ride because it don't last forever.
Yes, that's true. He said, enjoy it now and be nice to everyone because you meet the same people on the way down that you met on the way up, which is true.
Sweet.
So,
I've got back.
What's the worst equipment fail live for you, if any? Worst equipment fail, bass drum beater through the head. And it's happened 5 times, 6 times. And right then, that's when we're happy that we do a cappella, because I can just leave the drum kit and come down and sing an a cappella tune while my tech puts a new drum head on. So that works out well for us. How did it feel to finally make a new song after so long when you did the song? How did it feel to finally make a new song after so long when you did the song Pineapple Express? How did it feel to finally make a new song? Fine. I mean, yeah, it was fun getting together and working on it and working it up and recording it. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun doing that. How did I like playing on American Bandstand? That was a thrill because I'd watched it since I was a kid, and to finally be there, standing there with Dick Clark interviewing you, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Is there a song that was passed on by the band that you wished you would have recorded? It's passed on by the band? No. Anything that we passed on was not worthy of being recorded, I think. Or at least for us. What is the best song to learn from us guys? New drummer. Who was my favorite drum tech? Oh, Carl. I have 2 favorite drum techs. And Spike, if you're watching, this has nothing personal, but you weren't there long enough. Chazul and Rob Davenport, my 2 favorite drum techs of all time. And there's not one is not better than the other. So, Carl, I love you, man.
Daddy, I got a pack.
Okay, my daughter's going back to Los Angeles today. She's ignoring the shelter-in-place order and leaving. But she's been here for 2 months and it's been fabulous. So go pack.
Okay.
Thank you for helping me out.
I tried.
You did fine.
I tried.
I will continue on reading questions. Hi, Jenny.
Bye!
Say goodbye to Olivia, everyone.
Bye! Oh, are my flip-flops over there?
I'm stranded on a desert island. Which 5 albums do I take with me? I take Waiting for Columbus by Little Feat. I take the Don Ellis Big Band. I take Buddy Rich West Side Story. I take Oscar Peterson. And I take Pat Metheny. Any one of Pat's albums. Did the whole band visit the set of Back to the Future? No, I don't believe. Huey was the only one who went to the set because he had a cameo, but I didn't go. No, I don't. Nobody else went. Good Luck to Live on her new album. Yeah, it's really, her stuff is just really great, and her producer AJ Jenkins has really done they've been incredibly creative over these last 2 months. It's been really fun to watch and be a part of. I played drums on 6 of their songs, I think. They have 11. 5 or 6 of them. And hi, Jackie. Hi, Sean. Sean says hi. That's our Sean Hopper. Mitch Mitchell, Ginger Baker, or Keith Moon? Mitch Mitchell. I've seen them all live, and Mitch by no hands down. Although it sure was fun to watch Keith, he was a nutcase, but he was not a groove player, as you well know. She was in the way back. And way back. Okay. What was your favorite Huey Lewis album to record? Favorite Huey Lewis album to record? Again, I don't really play favorites. I never have. Probably Soulsville, because we did it live and we were all in the same room. Um, the horn section had a separate studio, and I had a video monitor so I could see the horn section, so they could see my cues. And Soulsville, I'd say, was probably the most fun. Thank you, Rick, for that compliment. My drumming always serves the song. Did you learn this from a mentor or from listening to other drummers? Um, I got that just from experience by playing music with other people and learning um, when to when to fill and when not to fill, and when, like, one of my longtime mottos has been less is more, meaning you're playing along in a song, and uh, the perfectly well placed cymbal crash on an accent is far more effective than if you're just crashing on every downbeat, or every 4 bars is a crash. If you just lay off and crash right at the right time, it's far more effective than just going nuts. And I've seen shows where the drummer has ruined the show for me by just playing over everything in a big fill every 4 bars and playing. Or matter of fact, I saw um, this was maybe about 8 or 9 years ago. I saw John Legend play, and I don't know who his drummer was. He was a phenomenal drummer. He was amazing. He had incredible talent, but he overplayed so much that it ruined the show. Literally, I couldn't take it. I had to leave. He just was. It was a fill every 4 bars, cymbals all the time, and here's John Legend up front playing acoustic piano, trying to sing with this going on in back of him. It was just cacophony for me. So that you can see it. I witnessed it, certainly, watching other drummers play behind singers, and that was obviously one of my motivations was, I had to play behind a singer, so you have to just keep the beat and accent in the right spots, and it's much more effective than just, you know, for lack of a better term, pissing over the whole song. Um, how was the sports album cover photo created? We went to the 2 a.m. club and took a picture. I don't. I do. And then I think I can't remember. I can't even remember who took that picture. But he took it and photoshopped it, hand tinted the thing, and placed Huey's picture in front, and like that. It was a Photoshop job, I'm sure. Uh, Hold on a second. Let's see this one. I have a question. I used to drum, and I would get commentary on my sticks bouncing by not so polite classmates. Then years later, I tried lighter drumsticks and was on fire. Did you ever have a preference in the weight of your drumsticks too? And how I can't see more. It's not letting me see more. Um, I've always been a 5B guy. 5B is a certain, you know, weight and circumference and thickness. I've always been a 5B guy, and I find I get great, fine, bounces fine with this, bounces fine. Lighter sticks somehow just don't feel right to me, so I guess it's just that I've used them so long, I'm used to them. So, like that. Did you record 4 chords and several years ago also live? A lot of that record was recorded live, yes. That was another real fun record to do because it was live. Yeah, yes, we did record that live for the most part. We overdubbed a lot of the horns on it, I know, but the rhythm section was live. When Dino was a broken teenager, Huey Lewis and the News saved her life. Well, you're welcome. Thank you very much. That's Wow, that's a big compliment, Dina. Thank you so much. I'm glad. I'm glad we were there for you. Who came up with the band name The News? Our manager Bob Brown came up with The News, and he had to do it fast because we had our first album done, and we were going to release it, and it was going to come out as Huey Lewis and the American Express. And at the last minute there, we got a cease and desist from American Express. So there goes the video again. So I'll just talk you through this one. Hi, Betty. Miss you too. I'm good. Um, uh, 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 um, oh, I lost my train of thought, which I do often these days. Let me go back. Oh, yeah, it's amazing how many stories I've gotten from people who have had cancer or going through a real hard time, and some, maybe ill or, depression or something like that. And I get a very, very sweet letter saying that I got them, or the band and the band's music has gotten them through their tough times. And that's wow, that's humbling for me. Thank you very much for saying so. And wow, I know that's something that when I started playing music, I never realized could happen. And when it started happening, I I realized how important um, music is as on the whole, and how healing music can be. So that's very humbling for me. Thanks for saying so. I know you lost video, but I'm just going to rock a couple more questions on um, just so you can hear me. Yeah, I miss Cincinnati too. Miss you, Don and Dave and Bambi. Um, do I remember doing an acapella video in the bathroom at Harpo's? Um, no, I don't remember doing a video. I remember singing an acapella in the bathroom at Harpo's, but not doing a video of it. Somebody may have though. Um, let's see. Thank you for saying so, Jean Dubois. Jean, thank you, sir. I miss you guys. I miss all the Dubois. I miss Dina and you, Jean. Yeah, you're welcome. Uh, what is different with German fans? Um, More energy, I think. What was the experience like to play with Peter Michael? That was a ball. Um, we had a lot of fun together, Peter and I. Yeah, it was really great. He added a lot of really cool stuff, I thought. Um, oh, I was talking about Huey Lewis and the American Express. That's right. Oh yeah, the 11th hour. Thanks, Beth. As the 11th hour, they said no, you can't use that name, the American Express. So our manager said, "What about Huey Lewis and the News?" I had it in the back of my mind, and we all thought, "Yeah, it's fine. It kind of rings, and it's fine." So we went with it. Hi, Lindsay. How you doing? Love Lindsay's videos, dancing with the kids. Um, okay, what I think I'm going to do is one more time. I've been going here for about an hour and 40 minutes. I'm going to go, I'm going to shut it down for 1 second, come back with video, and then I'll just play a little bit. Oh, video's okay? I don't have no one to check that with. If somebody can tell me if the video's okay, they can still see me. I know it's going to be about a minute before that happens. So I'll answer another question or two. Favorite song to play live? I already answered that one. I don't really have one. What can I tell us about the band's cameo in Back to the Future? The band didn't have a cameo. Huey had a cameo. I was not in Back to the Future. Your music is getting us through the tough times here in England. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Music's pretty important right now, isn't it? You look so different without that blonde hair. What do you mean? Video's fine. JT says video's fine. Okay, thanks, John. I don't, on my computer, it's not fine. But okay, I'll just keep rocking it then without video. I mean, without me being able to see myself. I don't need to see myself either. Okay, good. You haven't lost video. Excellent. Okay. So, do I still love the movie Mad, 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 Mad World? What's not to love? That's one of the all-time best. We watched a Mel Brooks movie last night. Life is, what is it? Life sucks? No, life is, I can't even remember the title. It was funny though. Okay, video's on, video's good, video's fine, video's fine. Good, thanks. Hi, Charlotte. Video's good. And one of the things I do miss, I got a question earlier, what do I miss about touring? And one of it is seeing all my friends around the world who I've become close with over the years. And that is really difficult for me because it's just one of the things I would look forward to when I would travel is going to a certain place and I just know I was going to see this person and that person, and that's tough. Knowing that there's no telling when I'll see that person again, if ever. So that's tough. Hi, Luke. Luke fans watching. Hi, buddy. I have not met Luke yet. I met Liam once. Life Stinks. That's it, Stephen. Life Stinks. What a great movie. I have my favorite music video. I answered that. Doing It All for My Baby. Hey, Milwaukee. Darby, Montana says, hey, Darby. I've floated by Darby many times. Okay. How's Huey's Meniere's? Tell him to look up Dr. Lloyd B. Minor, Stanford Medical. Martha, Huey's been to the Mayo Clinic. He's been to Stanford. He's been to UCSF. He's been to UMass. He's been to the House Institute in Los Angeles. He's been to and seen everyone. And they all have the same answer. They don't know what they can do. There's no procedure. He's tried everything. He's literally tried everything that all these people say you might try. So it's a crapshoot. It works for some people, doesn't work for others. There's no cure for it yet. So we keep our fingers crossed. Okay. What else do you want to know about? Hey, bro. It's my brother just recovering from toe surgery. I know you were blowing up my phone earlier, but okay. Do I count bars as you are playing a song you already know? No. Oh, that's Carl. Hey, Chazoo. Now you're asking some pretty heady questions here. No, I don't count bars. That's all committed to memory. I don't need to. I know it's muscle memory to playing the songs I already know. I always commit songs to memory. I don't write charts on Huey Lewis songs. I never have. I always just play them enough and rehearse them enough to know exactly the arrangement and how to do it. Was there ever any consideration of not using Huey's name to front the band and just going with the news? No, there wasn't. It was always going to be Huey Lewis and something. And there's my bro again telling me it's fine. Okay, thanks, bro. I'm just going to rock it here. I can't see the video, but you guys can, and that's all that matters. In the early 80s, Chubby Checker joined you on stage and you played the twist. Did you rehearse it before the show? Nope. I remember that show. It was in a club. I think it was Evansville, Indiana. And yeah, Chubby was there, and he got up and we did the twist, and we did it quite well, as I recall. That was kind of a cool moment, playing the twist with Chubby Checker. That's right up there. I kind of forgot about that. Thoughts on Max Weinberg? Max is a very solid player, super solid player. I have not met Max, but I get the sense that he's a very nice man and a very humble guy. He would have to play with Bruce, because Bruce is just like you or me. He's very down to earth, just another human being. Little Richard Memory from Memphis show. I did not go to that. That's the only show in my 40-year career with Huey Lewis in the News that I was not at. I had to sub out for that show. I had a viral infection, and there was no possible way I was going to get on an airplane to fly to Memphis to do that show. It was physically impossible for me. So they got Steve Potts played drums for the guys on that show, and that's the only show I ever missed in my entire career. I missed portions of shows, but the only show I never went to was that one. Hi, Rio de Janeiro. Nice. I sure would like to go there. It's beautiful. Will I do workshops at Loud and Clear Music Store again? If they asked me, I suppose I would. I had another one earlier. Do I do clinics? Yeah, I've done a few clinics. And I would certainly do more if I'm asked. What sports do I like to play? I like to play golf. I used to love to play baseball, but my knees are shot now and I can't run. And that's from repetitive motion playing drums, believe it or not. I had torn meniscus from repetitive motion in my left knee from playing the drums, and I had to have surgery for that. And I had to have shoulder surgery from bone spurs, and that was also from repetitive motion. So, yeah, I play golf, and I love baseball, but I don't play that much. I play catch, but I don't play softball or anything like that. Did I write any lyrics to any of the songs? No. I write with the band. Huey typically writes the music, the lyrics, and the band writes the music. How come on the back of the first album Johnny's feet aren't on the ground? He's hanging from the surfboard. Yeah, yes, he is. I don't know if you have ever seen the Beach Boys Surfer Girl album cover, but it was a takeoff on the Surfer Girl album cover. And it's a joke. Johnny's feet not touching the ground. It was a joke. I guess you didn't get that. What's my daughter doing with her music? She is finishing up an album that we just finished up here. And I'm going to take it and shop it around for her and see if we can get it released. Because it's certainly just as good as anything you hear on the radio nowadays. So I'm going to help her out with that. Huey and I are going to help her out with it and see what we can do for her. Whose idea was it to do the perfect world video in a garbage dump? I think that was Huey's idea, and it was really good because you don't know you're in a garbage dump at first. Obviously, it's with the set, and as the camera backs out, you realize it's not a perfect world. So it's no, I think that was Huey's idea. Ah. Oh, Santiago from Buenos Aires, thanks so much for doing that video. The fan tribute video of Her Love Is Killing Me is fantastic. And Santiago is one of the fans in the video from Buenos Aires. Thank you, sir. That was fabulous. I love that. Thanks for doing that. That was really cool. Hey, Jim. Long time no see, man. I miss you. Miss seeing, geez, I miss seeing everybody. That's one thing about this shelter in place is you don't get to see the people you don't get to see the people you love. Fortunately, had my daughter here for 2 months, which was great. But my other daughter I haven't seen since Christmas, and that's really really tough on me. Tell us about the horn sections. What do you want to know? They play these brass things. Trumpet player, tell us about the horn sections over the years. Well, we've only ever had two. Tower of Power, which I'm sure you know about, and our section that we have now, Rob Sudduth, Marvin McFadden, Chris Barnes sometimes subs for Marvin, and Johnny Beaumont. And Johnny Cola, of course, plays saxophone, and he they make a four-piece horn section, but I don't know what to say other than I've been super blessed as a drummer to be able to kick horn sections like that in our tunes. They're all obviously great players. Have I ever triggered sample drum sounds from a Yamaha acoustic kit? No, I have not. I used to. Wait a minute, did I ever do that? Carl, you could answer that. Carl, did I ever trigger? I may have. Yeah, I think I may have. Carl could answer that. Look in your comment. And Carl, if you're still here, answer that question for the gentleman who asked. Y'all have a sense of humor? Duh. You guys should be in the Hall of Fame. Well, it's up to fans like you to put us there. So get to work. I agree with you. But, it's political, and the people who run the Hall of Fame don't really care for us. So there you go. Thoughts on Stuart Copeland? Amazing. Amazing drummer. Saw the Police first time they ever played in San Francisco. They played a club. I saw him there, and then I saw him again at Zellerbach Hall on the UC Berkeley campus. They were great. I always loved them. We opened up for the Police, actually, in a couple of shows. We opened up as the News for the Police. And I got to watch him up close. And he's just a great player, very innovative. Love him. How do we get you guys in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? And do you even care? Yeah, I care. I would love to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I think we're deserving. I really do. And I think we've met all the criteria for getting in, and I don't see why not. The only reason I see is why not is, like I said before, it's a political thing, and it's really not who the best or most deserving people to get in are. Look how long it took the Doobie Brothers to get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I'm so happy for them that they're in. But look how long it took. It's ridiculous how long it took the Doobie Brothers to get into Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And some of the acts that are in there, I don't feel are worthy of being in there. So that's just my personal opinion. I'm not going to name names, but I think we're deserving. I think we've met the criteria. The only thing holding us out, I believe, is the politics of the whole thing. So I don't know what to tell you. Um, there you go. Dina, you're so sweet, and I miss you terribly. Thanks for saying that. You're very sweet for saying that. I miss seeing you guys. I really do. One of these days, when I'm going to come to Europe just on a personal trip, and I'll look you up. I promise. Um, yeah. Okay. Thank you, Julie, for prayers to Huey. Yeah, we're all praying for Huey. Will there be another video for weather? Yeah, we're trying to. We were thinking of doing a video for there for you. Um, we've been trying to figure out an idea for that. We think we have an idea for that, so we might be you might look for that. We had one for While We're Young, but nobody liked it, so we're not going to release it. With all the travel you've had, any scary moments on an airplane? You bet. Landing in Honolulu once on our way to Japan, we blew all the tires on the rear landing gears. That was scary. Plane didn't skid out or anything, but all the tires blew. One time flying home from London to San Francisco, we got about 3 hours outside of London. We were up over Greenland. And all of a sudden, it was very choppy. And we were on a 747, and the 747's wings are meant to flap, so to speak, to move. I think it's 14 feet they move. They're meant to do that in case you hit bad weather. So I looked out, and the wings are flapping. It looks like a bird. And all of a sudden, the plane takes a nosedive. We dropped maybe 3,000 feet instantly, and people were screaming, and that was a very, very scary moment. But the guy got it under control, and we made the rest of the trip to San Francisco. So that was no fun. What else? Def Leppard took forever. Yeah, it did. A better choice than Biggie? Biggie Smalls, is that who you're talking about? What memories do I have of our producer, Bob Brown? Bob was our manager. Bob's a very dear friend of mine, lives about a mile from me. I see Bob all the time. Not all the time, but I think he's in Mexico now. He has a house in Mexico. He spends some time down there. So I see Bob from time to time, and he's a very dear man in my life. So not so much some of the other guys in the band, but they can answer that. But no, I appreciate everything Bob did for us. Do you remember the live gig in Germany on the Expo 2000 in Hanover? I believe so. 2000. Nah, I don't think I remember that one. Do I know Todd Zuckerman? No, I don't know Todd. Great player. Really good player. But I've never had the chance to meet him. We almost did a tour with Styx, but for some reason we didn't do it. Yeah, Depeche Mode in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Huh? Seriously? Before the Doobie Brothers? Or are they in this year too? But Depeche Mode, does everyone think they should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? I don't get it personally. My opinion. And I know my friend Terry Holt's going to take me to the woodshed over that one. But do I ever go fishing with Huey? Yeah, I do. I go up to his place in Montana and fish on his property, and we float the Bitterroot River, float the West Fork of the Bitterroot and the Clark Fork, and yep, I do. I fish with Huey. Greetings, Toledo. So you guys, Tower Power Horn section deleted. My favorites. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Kurt. I appreciate that. Hi, Grand Lake, Colorado. Hi, hey, wait, what happened to Huey? Belinda, sorry, but this is not Huey's live stream. Wow, it's coming hot and heavy. No, that's sweet. Y'all are so sweet in your comments. It's really nice. Thank you so much. You guys other names you guys secretly played as beside HLN. Yep, the sports section. We did a whole club tour in, let's see, when was that? Where's my sports section thing? Majiggy. I think it was we did one in the 80s and another one in the early 90s. I'm looking over here because in my studio, my sister made me a quilt to hang as a one of the walls is pretty tall, and it had no side. If you look in back, see all this wood in back of me. That's for a purpose. That's sound treatment. That's for absorption, sound absorption, and reflection to diffuse the sound waves and absorb them. There's sound deadening stuff in back of that. So this wall was bare, so I said, you know, it'd be perfect just to make a quilt out of t-shirts, out of band tour shirts. So she did for me, and it's hanging on the wall over there. And I thought my sports section t-shirt was up, but it's on the other side, not there. Oh well. Yeah, early 90s and mid 90s, we toured as the sports section. Any thoughts or opinions of Phil Ehart from Kansas? I know Phil, and he's a great guy. Love Phil, a great player too. I saw them way early on in their career at Winterland in San Francisco, and I really enjoyed his playing. I think he's great. And he's a real sweet guy too. Yeah. Okay. How did I come up with the beginning fill to If This Is It? Excuse me. That was Huey's idea. Huey wanted why don't you just do something like, and you know, he was trying to explain it to me, and I went, okay, let me see what I can do. And so I just did a press roll. Just did a simple press roll. That simple press roll, double stroke press roll. Yeah, you get it about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Thoughts on Vinny Colaiuta, one of the finest to ever sit down behind a drum set. Amazing, incredible. Why does Huey introduce me as Bull? Because that's their nickname for me. And it's interesting because really Huey's the Bull. But no, that funny story about that too. On our first record deal with Chrysalis Records, they called me Bull because I kind of, with my friends, I kind of say what I think. Sometimes it might not be diplomatic or politically proper, but I say what what I feel and what I think. So Huey got to calling me Bull, and when I'd give him one of my sums, and they'd look at each other and go Bull, like so uh, they started calling me Bull. And on the first record contract that I signed with Chrysalis Records, everybody's name: Huey Lewis, Johnny Cola, Sean Hopper, Chris Hayes, Mario Cipollina, Bull Gibson. They spelled it Bull. They didn't spell it Bill. So everywhere on that, I had to sign the contract in maybe 50 spots, 60 spots. So I signed it Bull Gibson in every one of those spots. Kind of a funny story. That came from Huey nicknaming me Bull. Thoughts on Neil Peart? I already gave thoughts on Neil Peart, but good guy. I Rush's was never really my style of music, so I never really delved into his playing much. But I know he was perfect for Rush, and a sweet guy too, a very nice guy. And you wrote, like I said before, he wrote me a letter about the drums that I was building at the time. He had a few of our drums, and he wrote me a very eloquent letter. He was a great writer as well as a drummer. So, and gone far too young, obviously. Did I have a tough time grooving with my new bass player? You mean my new of 24 years, John Pierce? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There was never an issue playing with John. Matter of fact, it was one of the easiest things that ever happened. We were locked in from the get-go. Yeah. Favorite guitarists? Steph Burns, one of my favorite guitarists. I love the way Steph plays. James Harrah has got to be another one of my favorites. He's crazy good. Pat Metheny, Jimi Hendrix. Wow. I'm drawing a blank. Mike Landau. Tal Morris. Lot. Thoughts on Mickey Curry? I know Mickey, and yeah, he played with Hall & Oates and Bryan Adams. We did gigs with both of those guys when he was with them. So I do know Mickey, and he was solid as a rock, and another great guy. Why is that with the drummers are always great guys? What is it with that? I don't know, but Mickey was a sweetheart. The Outfield was a great band. Do you listen to any of their music? No, not that I know. I don't. Name me a couple of their tunes. The snare sounds great. Thanks. That's a Yamaha snare. That's a 5.5-inch maple Yamaha snare. Sorry, what you guys were playing the Turning Stone. You were on the elevator, and she got an old. Oh, yeah, never. Not a question. A story. Are you playing live with other bands currently? No, nobody's playing with anybody currently. There is no playing with anybody. Before the lockdown, you mean? Probably. No, I'm not. A couple of times I've gone back to Duluth, Minnesota, and played with my friends back there, just doing one-off gigs, but I'm not playing with any other bands. Snare sounds amazing. Oh, wow, thanks. Memories of the demos I did with Phil Lynott. Yeah, that was fun. We did them down at the record plant in Sausalito. And Philip and his guitar player were over. And and we cut 2 songs. I remember "Still Alive" and I can't remember the name of the other one, but "Still Alive" was one. "Still Alive" was one of the tunes that Huey Lewis could have done, or the News could have done, I suppose. Pretty good one. I don't say what, Linz. I'm 90 seconds behind on the comments. Hey, Larry. Larry Rinker in the house. Wow. Hope you're well, Larry. Gondo, get out of town. Dr. Gonzo wants to know if there's any scary bus stories. Boy, howdy. We almost died, and Gonzo was on the bus with us. John Means, by the way, when you see, hi Laura, when you see John Means' name pop up on the comments, the John is Dr. Gonzo, a comedian who opened up for us for quite a while on our sports tour. And we were driving from Lexington, Kentucky to Cleveland, Ohio one day. We were all passed out in our bunks, and Gonzo, fortunately, was asleep in the front lounge, I believe. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but you were in the front lounge on the couch. And our bus driver had stayed up the entire night before with his friends, imbibing in many different alcohols and some substances, many different substances. We didn't know it when we got on the bus in the morning. We all got on and just went straight to our bunks and went to sleep. And now we're driving up, I think it was 71. Is that the highway between Lexington and Cleveland? We're on the highway, and Gonzo wakes up, and the bus is swerving back and forth across 4 lanes of highway. And he's here now. He hears a CB radio. The bus drivers always had the CB radio going, and he hears other truckers going, "Stay away from that stagecoach," which is what they call tour buses. They call them stagecoaches. So stay away from that stagecoach. That guy's nuts. And Gonzo gets up and he goes, and our bus driver was actually a friend of mine. I knew him. I'd known him even before he was driving buses. Daryl. And he said, "Daryl, you okay?" And Daryl looks at Gonzo and with glassy eyes, and he didn't even know who Gonzo was. Somehow Gonzo got Daryl to pull the bus off to the side of the road. And now we're all asleep. The band's asleep back in their bunks, but Gonzo has finally saved our lives, literally, and had Daryl finally get the bus off the side of the highway. So now, the first thing I remember is Johnny Cola coming up to me and waking me up saying, "Bill, you have to drive." Because I had driven the bus on a couple of occasions before that. So what? And Johnny happened to be, actually, he was pretty upset when I drove the bus before. So, but here's Johnny saying, "You have to drive." Daryl's out of it. What? So we all get up and go out, and Daryl has now gone off the bus, and he's running around just out of his mind. He's gone. And the funny thing was the gig that night was at Blossom Music Center in Cleveland. His whole family, he's from Cleveland, and his whole family was supposed to be there. And he's out of his gourd. So I couldn't get the air brake off the bus, so we had to call our crew bus driver. We were about an hour and a half outside Cleveland. We had to have our crew bus driver, so we just waited there and waited for the crew bus driver to come down and pick us up and drive us up. And we put Daryl in the back of the bus and told him to stay there and go to sleep. But yeah, Gonzo saved our lives literally that day, and that was a scary bus story. All right. Why did we use a drum machine for Bad is Bad? Because it was the right sound for the song. And that's what we were going for. That was the treatment we were going for. Do I know Steve Smith? Very well. Yes, I do. Good friend. Used to live close by to me, but he's since moved up to Oregon, I believe. Do I know Dave Menichetti? No, I don't. I've never met Dave. I know Mike Vanderhoel, their drummer, Y&T's drummer, and of course Steph used to play with Y&T years ago. What I would call the longest concert we ever played. Yeah, it was 3 hours. We used to do marathons with when we had Tower Power horns with us. We used to do really long concerts. I think the longest one was probably about 3 hours. Is there any way to mail me something to autograph and have it mailed back to me? Yeah, Keith, send it to our office. 3125 Kerner Boulevard, San Rafael, California, 94901. Yeah, that's our office. Send it to our office, and we can get that done for you. Can't Get Away. Yeah, the other song was Can't Get Away. How'd you know that, Luke? Was that released? No. It was, yeah, that's right. It was Can't Get Away. I will check that out as soon as, Doug, I'll check your a cappella video out as soon as I'm done. If the group can no longer tour, would I feel the need to move on to another group, or would you be content with retiring? I don't feel like I'm ready to retire. If the right situation came along with another band and it was worthwhile and or super fun to do, I would consider it. But I'm not going to go beat my brains out there on the road just to get out on stage again. That's not. If it was the right situation, I would do it. Certain with the right people, I would definitely consider. But I don't need to. I don't need to. And although I do miss playing live, that's. And I used to sit up there when we were doing gigs so many times over about the last 10 years. In the middle of a gig, I'd be playing along and I'd be thinking to myself, boy, when this is over, when all this, I'm really going to miss this all when this is all over, and it kind of happened not on our terms, which was a drag. The way it all came down was not on our terms at all. But anyways, I mean, what's the ignorant comment? I missed the ignorant comment. Did I make an ignorant comment? Sorry to offend, because I offended someone. Oh well, can't win them all, right? And hi Becky. Hope you and Ben are well. The hottest concert ever, quite possibly could have. Well, right up there was Floors, but no, it wasn't. It wasn't our hottest concert ever. The hottest concert I ever remember playing was in Philadelphia in midsummer at Mann Music Center. And there's another one too. I can think of two right now. Yeah, Philadelphia one midsummer night, and it was so hot and humid. It was so humid you could see rings around the lights that went around the. It was like a big shed. It was like a shoreline amphitheater or something. A big amphitheater. They had the regular lights out around the perimeter of the place, and you could see the rings of water around them. And the other one was in Indianapolis one night, and it was so hot I had to have oxygen when I came off. I couldn't breathe. And that was no fun. But I'll tell you, Becky's right. That gig at Floors Country Store was hot, hot, hot. That's in San Antonio. Nice to see you replying. Hi, Nance. Thanks for tuning in, Becky. Say hi to Ben. Hi, Nance. And what about Tulsa? That was hot, but that was just crazy. You remember that? You were there for that one. Oklahoma City with Stevie Ray. Did I need oxygen there too? Yeah, I may have. Hey, Bernie. Hi, Stacy. How you holding up? I hear it's kind of weird in Tennessee right now, Bernie. They're the reopening, but things are kind of still on the upswing. So, wow. Stay safe, my friend. And as you can see, I got my studio up and running. So if you ever need any more drums on any of your tunes, Bernie, by the way, is Michael McDonald's guitar player. Has been for 25 years, and he great player, great musician. Puts his own records out, and I had the pleasure of playing on one of his songs on one of his last records. But let me know if you need any more drums. I'm all set up to do it. Are you leaving?
We're leaving.
Uh-oh. Guys, my daughter is leaving. And I've been on the air for, how long have I been on the air for? What time is it? I've been on the air for 2 hours and 23 minutes. So that's pretty good. It's not like, hi, Sarah. I'm sorry, but it's not that I want to leave, because I could stay here all day long doing this. This has been a lot of fun. I promise you I will do it again, and I will play for you next time. And in the meantime, we'll advertise for it to come up. But in the meantime, when you see it coming up, maybe if you drummers want to have anything in it, let me know in advance so I can work on some stuff in advance for you. If you want to know anything about how I do anything on the kit. Oh, there's one. Could I play the famous snare cymbal break from the end of I Know What I Like? I don't, the end or the beginning. Anyways, keep those questions in mind. I will do all of that stuff on my next one, and I promise you I'll do it pretty soon. How about like the beginning of next week? I know most of us are just sitting at home watching YouTube, right? Or Facebook. So I will definitely do this again early next week. And I got to go say goodbye to my daughter because I'm going to miss her like crazy. So thanks everybody for tuning in. It's really been a ball. Thanks for your support over the years. You've all helped me. All of you have helped. Hi, Michelle. You've all helped me build this studio. So thank you. I'm blessed to have fans like you and friends. So we'll see you early next week, okay? Take care. Love y'all. Bye.